Before I begin, I need to say this wasn't an easy chapter to decide whether to include. I spent a long time going back and forth on it. What ultimately brought me here is this: there are real lessons buried in this part of my life, and ignoring them would mean leaving something unfinished. Looking back now, I can say this honestly: it wasn't a relationship in the way people usually mean it. It was to people deep in addiction, clinging to each other while slowly holding one another hostage. At the time, I couldn't see that. When you're inside it, everything feels justified, even when it's clearly not. It took distance, sobriety, and help afterward to understand what was really happening. I'm not going to get into the details of those visits. I'm not going to describe the conditions she was in, whether good or bad, and I'm not going to relive moments that are better left private. What I will say is this: when things were good, they really were good. There were moments of laughter, calm, and connection that felt real in the middle of all the chaos. Looking back now, that's what I choose to remember. She's a good person who battles the same things I battle. Because of that, those trips and much of what happened during that time stay private. This isn't about blame or exposing wounds. It's about acknowledging impact and understanding how the people can care about each other and still be completely wrong for where they are in life. I'll say this about that time in the Midwest: I had forgotten that I'm a domesticated mammal. Somewhere along the way, I stopped understanding how important a home really is and the people inside it. I had taken for granted the small, quiet things that make up safety. Things you don't notice until they're gone. Warmth, routine, having somewhere to land at the end of the day. Addiction has a way of shrinking your world until survival becomes the only priority. During those visits, she reintroduced me to shared responsibility. Simple things: showing up, pulling my weight, being present for someone other than myself. Things I had slowly let slip out of my life. She reminded me what it felt like to be counted on, and what it meant to count on someone else, even in small ways. I also got my first real taste of Midwest winter below zero cold. White-knuckle driving, learning fast that nature doesn't care how prepared you think you are. The cold was relentless and honest. It didn't bend or negotiate. In a strange way, it mirrored exactly where I was at the time. It slowed everything down and forced me to be in the moment, whether I wanted to be or not. In many ways, she was a mirror of myself. Not identical, but familiar in ways that were impossible to ignore. Seeing my own patterns reflected back at me, both the good and the broken, left an impression that stayed with me long after I left. The reason this chapter matters is because she played a significant role later on. When I finally reached for real help, her words carried weight with me in a way few others could. And that didn't come out of nowhere. There was history there. Context mattered. When I think about it now, I don't believe I would have sought the level of help I eventually did if that short relationship hadn't happened. As painful and confusing as it was, it became a turning point I didn't recognize until much later. So this chapter exists not to reopen the past, but to acknowledge it, learn from it, and move forward honestly. Thank you. You know exactly who you are.